Welcome back, everybody, to more 80 days here on additional Pylons games. As our master says, some of our things could sell pretty well here. 790, give ourselves a little bit of a... Alright, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and start selling off some of the stuff that we don't necessarily need to keep. Harmonica, Chicago, Winnipeg, New Orleans, Gina, Calgary, Dallas, Acapulco, New Orleans. Seems like New Orleans is the place to go. Let's take a look at our map, actually. Oh, whoops. That was the wrong button. All right, zoom out here. So Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, Dallas, New Orleans. Yeah, we could go to New Orleans. So let's go ahead and buy some stuff that would be good for us to sell in New Orleans. Because that seems like a place for us. Okay. I think we're good. Actually, yeah, we're good for now. Let's go ahead and explore. See what there is to see. New routes discovered. Go up to Gastown, down to San Pedro to Acapulco. No thanks. San Francisco seemed less a city, more ravenous, be spent on consuming everything, even itself. Enormous steam-powered drills and diggers, flattened hills, straightened roads, reformed neighborhoods, flattened hills in San Francisco. Yeah, right. Recently constructed long bridge, which crowded with families out for a stroll. Django rowing boats. Passengers out on Mission Rock. Cheers and good nature shouted, emitted, halfway house, middle of the bridge. Appeared at the halfway house, surmised, yes, some manner of drinking den. Man, red face, somewhat worse for drink, bumped into me. Excuse myself politely. Not from around here. You don't sound American either. I was Dutch once in a past life. Now I'm an American as President Grant. A prospector. I'm a traveler. I'm a novice. Actually. Regarded her. Walking dress, ruffled dress, European style, short tassel jacket, embroidered patterns of a try. Anders, this is my wife Jenny. It's a beautiful jacket. Are you? I'm of the Modoc tribe, what the new Americans call Indians. You roll their eyes. Do not mind your surprise. Most of the tribe has been taken to the Klamath Reservation in Oregon. But you're not with them. Fell in love. Choosing. Well. Depart. Where can we depart? No. We want Salt Lake City. Leaves tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay, well, let's go ahead and stay the night. Make our way across. Headed towards Chinatown to eat. It was a warren of crowded wooden and brick houses, temples, businesses, herbalists, laundries, market stalls, selling fruit and flowers. Guarded people with some interest. Large groups of men stood around smoking, drinking Korean tea, and calling each other good naturedly. Felt quite at home. Older man with European clothes. Very well dressed, I remarked. They say, Lynn, you talk to foreigners, you wear their clothes, and I say to them, I'm American now. And you are too. Old-fashioned hair, there's laws against it here, but he wears it like that, the fool. Law must be upheld, even in small matters. Why does he wear it like that? Holding on to his Guangzhou village? If I'm saying that correctly? Maybe. Salt Lake City. Yes, we want Salt Lake City. Hey, that's nice. Looks like a bearable experience. Transcontinental Express. We're lucky to arrive in San Francisco just in time to catch the inaugural journey of the Transcontinental Express, which will take us to New York in 8 days with only a handful of stops along the way. Let's chat a little bit. Monsieur Durant, Salt Lake City, Mormon colony where polygamy is the norm. Not anymore. All right. Omaha to Chicago. Journey is Taiwan. Chicago to Atlanta. Give him biscuit. It'll chat a little bit more. Washington. Let's talk about Washington. Washington to Dallas. To Miami. All right, so we go to Chicago if we wanted to. Chances are it's not going to happen, though. We're aiming for New Orleans. First day aboard was enjoyable enough. American trains could clearly not compete with their European counterparts, but it's amusing to see them try. Posters proclaim the Pullman's Palace sleeping cars. While not palatial, at least serviceable. Sip cool beer as we rattled along a stretch of desert. I tended to miss your Fogg. All right, there we are. On our way to Salt Lake City. Let's just get there. Fellow passengers were curious. Mix of gold and silver prospectors, homesteaders, farmers, all corners of the world, Mormons, missionaries, soldiers, stiff-necked gentry of various sorts. Gave a young black woman a deep red bonnet, an infectious laugh. Wild smile. Her name was Diana. Meeting my husband in Cheyenne, she told me he did construction work in New York, but New York isn't safe anymore. We have enough to move now. Why isn't it safe? Draft riots of Europe. New York has always had Confederate sympathies. What? When the Union began drafting New Yorkers, they rioted. Interesting. They killed and burned black homes. My husband never felt safe since. Now we're moving to Cheyenne. Where else can one go but New York? New Orleans. You can take a paddle boat down Mississippi from Burlington, though New Orleans is dangerous in its own way. Well, that's good to know. Yes, the katana could earn us well here. Yes, it could, which is what we were counting on. All right, cotton flower, Washington, again, New Orleans. So let's go ahead because that's where we're towards. Dusty Road, Brazilian Snuff, Chicago, and New Orleans. Well, we've got the space, so we may as well buy it. And we did make quite a good amount of money. All right, Albuquerque departs tomorrow at 2. Arrives Saturday. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to Albuquerque. All right, Albuquerque it is. Departs tomorrow. Let's go ahead and stay the night. Sat downstairs in the room of our hotel, looking across the plains. So you're longing for a glass of wine, a cup of coffee. Young lady with a wry smile, may I join you? By all means, I answered. I heard you travel, I heard you're going around the world. Endeavoring to circumnavigate in 80 days, or less. I shook my head vaguely, several. You sound tired of your adventure. Tell me about yourself. Mademoiselle Diane Young. Father is a blacksmith. My mother works on one of those farms, servicing harvesters. Lived in Salt Lake City her whole life. She was born here. And do you wish to travel? I need every hand, so she wants to get away. I would hang on to your coattails like a shot, monsieur, and ask you to show me the shores of Europe. Then you should come. Can I pretend my desires above the needs of my people? After all, you hardly follow your own desires, do you, monsieur? I'm loyal to my profession. The evening was wearing on. The young lady rose and bid me farewell, and bon voyage. I watched her go. Feeling suddenly curiously old. In 100 years, I wonder what would curious historians make of our adventures. Very little, I suppose. Let's go ahead and get on to Albuquerque. Going by rail cart. Interesting. Taking a donkey, on the other hand, there was a railroad running from Salt Lake City through the thickest forest between us and a tiny interchange of Albuquerque. On the other hand, there were no actual trains, so we boarded the only transport we could, a wheeled carriage pulled by donkeys. To give them their due, they were hardy creatures, accustomed to traversing colossal American scale, pulled day and night. Accommodations were good enough. Darn. All right, sir, your beard. Albuquerque, Dallas, San Pedro. We've talked about all these. What do you make of our country? Incredible. Too big for human hands, right? All right, Dallas, Pitcairn, Dallas, Port Moresby. I'm just trying things at this point. All right, Miami to Atlanta. Surprised that they didn't include like Charleston down there. Rolled onwards, deep stone canyons, newly laid track following a winding path, all but dried up river. A few scrappy plants, lizard in the sun. Night fell. Cooler air. Crisp beauty of the stars. Our driver, a Mormon called Jake Milloway, boiled beans in a can over fire, crackling twigs. Asked him his thoughts about Salt Lake City. I like it. It's not for everyone. But for now, people leave us alone. Where'd you live before? Picked up the Faith in Missouri just in time to run out of town. Wow. This last time I feel like we didn't have nearly as many of these heavy situations. We've talked about, although last time we did go through Africa and it talked about slavery. That was a big issue. Slowed down a little on the second day. The line of railroad began to climb. Albuquerque is the highest point. It's also a place of sin, injustice, and railroads. Travel all the way to New Orleans if you can afford the ticket. Great. It's gonna be expensive. Yeah, we've talked about like religious persecution and religious tensions this time, I guess. Also mutiny. With little fanfare, the hardy beasts lending our caravan pulled us up to the final gentle slope. The interchange station at Albuquerque. Met the station master. First stock through from Salt Lake, and you're most welcome. I thanked him. Albuquerque will be a hub, an enormous city. People around the world visit us. Look forward to that day, I replied politely. Yes. Never been to Albuquerque. Maybe it is a big interchange. Pocket altimeter could be sold hand here. That it could. We're going to New Orleans, so we may as well set of false teeth. All right, I think we already have. Do we have dominoes? We do not have dominoes. Let's do a little. Let's do a little bit of packing up here. False teeth. I don't want to. That's just weird. Fine, we'll get it. Why not? We've got the money. All right. Exactly how many guns do you think we need? More. We're in the Wild West after all, right? Let's go ahead and explore a little bit today. Curious mix, town of eclectic streetcars and railroads. Also a town of gunslingers, saloons, honky-tonk variety shows. We're a little bit out of place. Chink of spurs on veranda floors, met us every corner. A few jeered, a few laughed. The population of the mountain settlement were mostly Mexican and kept out hand by one Sheriff Perfecto Armillo. We encountered rounds. Europeans everyone's been talking about. What gave you that idea? Hazarded. Keep wit in check around here. Too many loose forefingers, if you know what I mean. Somewhat impressed. Man, I hardly see the Chief Justice of London walking around the city telling the populace to abide by the laws. All right. So, tomorrow we leave for New Orleans. Negotiate. We could leave today. Let's do it. Yeah. Man, look at that. Look at us negotiate. Texas and Pacific Railway, T&P. Board of the Texas Pacific Railway. Decent stretch of railroad by all accounts, which joined west coast to south. Lacked the speed of an airship, but at least it was reasonably comfortable. Let's chat with the captain, Madam Minkston. Ooh. New Orleans to... Let's just talk about New Orleans. New Orleans to Miami. New Orleans to Havana. All right. So we could possibly go to Havana. Havana to Nassau. We'll have to see. When we get to Nolans, turned east to south of Dallas, which I glimpsed. Could not pin down. Day 60. Still some distance yet to travel. Yes. Yes. Although last time I believe we completed it in 75 days, 76 days. Stretch of track was unremarkable. Pressed time. Playing dominoes. I broke even. New Orleans to New York was fastest on the continent, but we were warned about New York. Many of our possessions would sell efficiently here. Yes, they would, and that is what we're counting on. Let's get rid of all these guns, like our master was. Stetson hat. Sure, let's sell it. Heavy storms, we're going to keep that because we might need it to get across the Atlantic. Oil paints. Atlanta, Miami, Port-au-Prince. We'll buy those. We got the money. Appears you made some excellent sales. Yes, we did. Let's plan out what we got here. To Havana. Huh. Come on. Let's plan. Let's plan. Havana. Negotiate. Tomorrow. Departs tomorrow. Good stuff. All right. Let us explore. Let's not take a chance on waiting around any day. We already know about, oh, Port-au-Prince. That changes things. We could go to Port-au-Prince, arrives Monday, arrives tomorrow. Negotiate, continue. You know what? Let's go to Port-au-Prince instead of Havana. All right. Stay the night in a hotel. Check the time. All right. I met death in a smoke wreath lit bar. Wow. You offered me to buy me a bourbon. Maybe 20 or 30 years. Death pulled off his mask to reveal a handsome, lit dark green eyes extended his scalp. Fine costume, I remarked. We see, mon cher. I'm Death at our neighborhood Mardi Gras, and I'm practicing my role. He furred my hand. I'm Passapartout. What is going on? And sir, as a guest realized I'd been a slave before the Civil War, indeed, worked as a servant for very family. Are you happy working for them? Claude is a whore, Alette is a little better. Henri is a sweet child. Half siblings. Papa. It's your papa as well. Wow. Deep stuff here. Surely you want more from life. Joined the 1st Louisiana Native Guards Regiment after New Orleans was captured by the Union. I'm sorry. Confession can be cathartic. Confess my sins. That is not what I meant. He walked me off river to the border of the Garden District where Monsieur Fogg had taken lodgings. Well, that was interesting. I almost accidentally romanced death. Depart? We can depart, right? Let's go for it. There we are, on the Eastern Main airship. So, actually, look at the time. It's time for us to leave this episode. So, thanks again for tuning in for more 80 days here on Additional Pylons Games. Hit like and subscribe. Check out some of the other series going on the channel. And join me next time as we continue on our way to the Caribbean here on 80 Days. So, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on APG.